Hello everyone, this is Ashenmore. Today, I'm bringing you my draft analysis for the ABA Season 3. My team this time is the Gen 7 Garchomps, which is a team name I really wanted to use for a while, but I only recently mustered the courage to learn how to make a decent logo for it. And it's obvious what that's based on. This is my second season with the ABA, 5th draft league overall. I know some leagues do things a bit different, so I'll explain how this one's works. This particular draft, you're required to take 11 Pokemon. That's 1 Mega, 1 from each of 5 tiers, an additional Mon from Tier 3, and you have 400 free agent points to spend on whatever you can afford. You can increase that point total by grabbing a lower tier Mega, which will refund you some points. So for instance, if you take a Tier 2 Mega, you get a 40 point refund, Tier 3 60 points, and Tier 4 80 points. A few of the tiers are also broken into subsections that cost slightly less points. For example, Tier 1 is broken up into Tier 1A, which is 160 points, Tier 1B, which is 40 points. You also have to choose one Z Captain, which is the only Mon you're allowed to use Z Crystal on, which we had to choose at the end of the draft out of the ones we'd already drafted. I ended up getting second pick overall in this draft, which is pretty nice. Most of the time I've been like the bottom 3, so pretty nice to actually get one of the first picks. Basically means I get my choosing of a first Mon, whatever I want. Then I get 2 picks almost back to back from then on. Although each set of 2 picks is going to have 20 picks in between, where people can take stuff that I want. I had a list of ideas I wanted to try, but my friend Gatsby and I came up with this really nice rain team idea that he used last season, and I wanted to try it out and make it a little bit better. It absolutely requires Pelipper, but if I took that, and there's 20 picks between that and my second and third picks, that creates a huge risk of other key pieces I want being sniped. Of course, Pelipper might also get taken if I don't take it first. The best option then was to choose a Mon that I really want that can work with any team, also rain. So I chose Thundurus T as my first pick. I considered Thundurus I for flexibility, but I took Therian form because it has Volt Absorb, which makes it a fantastic pivot for some of the other Mons I plan on using that'll be weak to electric types. You kind of lose the physical side that's potential for Thundurus I, and you lose the priority support moves. But Thundurus I can't really take an electric type attack well at all. And this one hits a hell of a lot harder. It also synergizes with Rain because the accuracy increased to Thunder and net me KOs, which would otherwise be unreliable. I could also run Thunder with Thunderbolt or instead of Thunderbolt, depending on how often I think I would be able to keep Rain up in a particular match. I already knew when I picked this it was going to be my Z-Mon. It's amazing coverage. Nothing's going to appreciate taking a Z move off of base 105 special attack. Absolutely nothing. The Z Crystal potential also distracts from the possibility of me running Scarf. I lose 10 base speed off of the Incarnate form. There's also the possibility, like I mentioned, to run this with Physical, so I could access Knockoff and some other things, which might throw some people off balance. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that, but who knows. So 20 picks later, and there's been no interest. So I decided to commit now. Just go ahead and take Pelipper. We get the crucial Drizzle ability, Defog, Physical Tank with Roost, Ground Immunity, Strong Stab moves, Status Effects, and Scald Hurricane. This guy is going to be what's holding this team together. I've already got a great Mon that can absorb lightning moves for it. They're obviously both weak to rocks, so I'll have to cover that later. There's another Mon that I didn't think would survive to the next round, get back to me, that I really wanted to try this time. That was Kartana. (181 attack, 109 speed, coverage moves for days, Beast Boost, This awkward origami thing, sweep teams all day. Great to clean up, set up sweep sword stance, gets me a rock resistant defogger potentially, if it really comes down to it. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it like that, but I could. And it can threaten bulky waters. It might try to take advantage of the rain that I'm setting up. And it can also hit the majority of stealth rockers with Leaf Blade and Sacred Sword for super effective damage. I would mention at this point that rain alleviates its fire weakness, but it's still going to die. So the draft goes full circle, back around to me, another 20 picks, and I decide, since nobody's taken them, now is the time to pick up my rain combo pieces. My fourth pick, Mega Swampert. Base 140 speed in the rain, good bulk, access to rocks, electric type immunity, can field Rain Dance as a backup, just hits super freaking hard. Had to have him. And the other one is Kingdra. Gives me my dragon type, flexibility to go either special or physical, so it basically functions mostly as a special foil to Mega Swampert. So he's like the physical rain speeder, and this guy's like the special rain speeder. Hydro Pump off of Life Orb Kingdra will OHKO the majority of offensive threats that don't resist it after or before a little ship damage. Draco Meteor can get just about everything else. Physical set with D-Dance could work outside of rain, and there's a classic Kritra set, which is always a possibility. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to take that at least once just for fun. It also gets a very fast Clear Smog to stop defensive or offensive threats that I don't think I can OHKO with it. Now, I've got all the offensive options that I really need for this team to work at this point. So the next option I needed was defensive supporting pivots. So I reached down into tier 4 and I picked up Bronzong, the old bell. It's going to give me a strong defensive steel type, a grass resist for Swampert, access to rocks again, ability to counter Trick Room, just a good overall defensive mon. Rain also gets rid of its fire weakness, so it kind of energizes there. There are two more tank supporting kind of mons that I really wanted to pick up. I was torn between which one of them I wanted to get next. But I went ahead and got the one that was in higher tier because I thought somebody might pick it next. And that was Tentacruel. Rain Dish plus Leftovers give it amazing recovery in the rain. It can absorb special hits much better than other mons on my team. Bronzong functions as kind of a quad resist to cover its psychic weakness, and I have 3 ground immunities: Bronzong Levitate, Pelipper, and Thunderous T. Also gets a lot of supporting options like T-Spikes. It gets Spin and it's not weak to rocks, so that kind of covers that. It gets Haze to prevent other tanks and offensive threats from boosting in front of it. Scald to potentially ruin some physical threats that would come into it. Surprisingly, even though it's my 4th water type, only 2 of those water types are weak to electric, and only 2 are weak to grass, and none of them are weak to both at the same time. And I have plenty of switch-ins to predict both of those hits. But I want a little more reliability even. So on my next round, I went ahead and surprisingly was able to pick up Miltank from tier 5. I feel like this mon's just kind of like the gem of tier 5. It's got Sap Sipper ability, so it gives you the grass immunity, and a lot of support moves with Heal Bell, access to Rain Dance itself, another rocker, recovery, decent offensive move pool, and freakishly high speed, so it can reliably get that stuff off. Like I said, no idea why this is in tier 5. Also in this round, I had pretty much everything I needed at this point that I had wanted to get, and I'd used up all my high tier picks, so I need a fairy type still. Went down to tier 4, and I got Rabombi. It's a good Quiver Dance abuser. Really high speed, can threaten out of a lot of fighting and dragon type threats. It also gives me 2 stabs to handle dark types, which minus some coverage moves I don't really have yet. The last 2 mons that I picked up, I really had no idea what I was going to go for. I was already satisfied with my team. I already pretty much had all my cores that I needed to get. But I didn't have a fire type, and I figured I needed something maybe to switch into moves for Kartana, and something that could hit ghosts and psychics really well with stab. So I went ahead and I got Chandelure. Can also be good to threaten teams that I think might abuse Substitute's Infiltrator ability if I don't think I'll run Flash Fire on it. And for my very last Pokemon, I picked up Minshao. I feel like every team kind of needs a fighting stab, and this one has a very powerful one, very high speed, a good U-turn for momentum. It's just kind of another threat people are going to have to prep for against me. And that's it for the Gen 7 Garchomps. I was really happy with how this team came out. Very fortunate I didn't actually get sniped in the entire draft. I think it's good enough to win this league if I manage to play it well, so hopefully I can do it justice. I will follow with a battle video and a team builder video each week, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.